Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Health Talk. I am your host, Dr. Niru Prasad, with my background in pediatrics, emergency medicine, and urgent care, affiliated with St. Joe, Oakland, Henry Ford, and Beaumont. The theme of my health talk today is plant-based nutrition support group. Joining us today is our founder of plant-based nutrition support, Paul Chatlin. He will give his introduction and also how he got involved in this particular important thing in our life, all to prevent the heart disease and other illnesses. So basically, we are going to talk about the plant-based nutrition by Paul Chatlin. Good morning, Paul, and I'm so happy that you are here as the founder of this whole group. Yeah.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah. So can you give your introduction to our viewers?
Again, my name is Paul Chatlin, and 13 years ago, I founded the Plant-Based Nutrition Support Group.
Okay.
And a little bit of my story, and if we all listen in, it's a story of hope and reclaiming your health. So 13 years ago, I woke up one morning with some chest discomfort. And I carried that with me every morning and every night for a period of time. And as I reflect back, when I was a very young man or young boy, my dad and his three brothers, within a 3-year period, all needed quadruple bypass surgery in their 50s. And here I am, I was 54 years old.
Right.
So not knowing exactly what was happening other than I was in pain every morning, and it would go away, and then it would come back. One day, I decided I needed to get a doctor's opinion, and he heard a heart murmur that he had not heard before, and immediately sent me to his appointed cardiologist. And from there, I did all the tests up to a heart biopsy and a heart catheter. And upon leaving and getting an appointment for that heart biopsy and catheter, he said to me, I've been doing this for 30 years, and from my experience, you're going to need either bypass surgery or a heart transplant.
Oh, okay.
What they found was I had an enlarged heart, leaky valves, scarsidosis of the right side of the artery, a heart murmur, a left bundle block. I was a real mess. So on the way home, I stopped at my wife's office because I love her so much I didn't want to worry her, but now I was worried.
Yeah. Now you were worried, yes.
So I brought her into her conference room and I explained that I was going to have another appointment and what was hurting me every day. And she started to cry, and I did a little crying with her, and her boss came in, and I had to explain it to him as to what was going on.
What was going on, right, yeah.
And he said, just stay in the office. And he, over the next 10 or 15 minutes, made some calls because he had been at the Cleveland Clinic and actually got me an appointment the day before I was scheduled to get my heart catheter and biopsy at Beaumont Hospital locally. So the day before, my wife and I drove out to the Cleveland Clinic.
Cleveland Clinic.
And
the famous place
for
starting all this.
Yeah. That's the place if you got heart disease, and I certainly had it. So they assigned me to one of their hundreds or tens of thousands of doctors, whatever they have.
Yes.
And it turned out that he was the head of heart transplant, so he believed that is what I might need.
Yeah.
And when someone says you need a heart transplant, it gets your attention.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I spent that day doing all the tests, and when I had the heart catheter, they kind of put you in kind of a loopy, you're kind of aware but not aware.
Right.
And I could hear him screaming or saying, yes. Well, he was saying yes because I didn't need a heart transplant, but I did need immediate surgery.
Yeah.
So I was all prepped up, ready to go, and I was being wheeled in.
They put a couple of stents in you?
No. I mean, I didn't get that far. So I'm all ready to go. I'm being wheeled in on a gurney. And right at the door, he looked down and he said, I've only offered this to one other person in 20 years. And would you consider a lifestyle change?
Oh, okay.
And if you do, maybe we don't need surgery today.
Oh my God, what a blessing. Wasn't it a blessing for you, Paul?
Well, it was an immediate, like, you ever say yes to something
plant-based, yes.
Yeah, you ever say something like yes to something you didn't know what you're saying yes to? Because when he said, you want to make a lifestyle change, I said yes, but I never knew what that really meant.
Yeah, what he was talking about.
I was just reflecting back at my dad and my uncles, of which 3 out of 4 never made it off the operating table. And in thinking of that, I promised myself that if I got out of surgery, that I would give back the rest of my life.
Right, yes. So that's how you joined this whole support group.
Yes, I was to this day.
You were the founder of it.
Yes. Yeah. To this day, I do wake up every morning thinking, I can't believe it's just the food that's hurting me.
Right, yes.
So when I was on the gurney being wheeled back in recovery, he picked up his phone and he called his mentor, and it turned out to be Dr. Caldwell Esselstyn, who wrote the book on how to reverse and prevent heart disease.
Oh, okay.
So when you think about it, I got lucky to get into the Cleveland Clinic. I got lucky to be assigned a doctor whose mentor wrote about reversing heart disease. So he said, go on home and he'll call me in the morning. And in the morning, the next day, I'm back here in Michigan. He calls up. He says, I want you to read this book. And when you're done, it's time to act and make a life change. So that was the last time I took on meat, dairy, and oil. But I was still very sick. So they put me on about 60 days of heavy medication because the only way to shrink my heart and stop the valves from leaking was to not be active. So they had me sleeping 16 to 18 hours a day.
Sleeping all the time?
Heart being a muscle. Bless you. The heart being a muscle, I just couldn't use that muscle as much.
Yeah, so sedate you, first of all,
So all I did for 60 days was eat and sleep. That was it. But along the way, what was amazing was after about the 14th day, my angina went away.
Oh, okay.
And after about 14 days, the foods that I never wanted to ever eat in my life, the beans or peas, were more palatable.
Okay.
So my taste buds were changing because I wasn't eating meat or dairy or oil.
Right, yeah.
And so all of a sudden, also, I started losing weight. I weighed 230 pounds.
Really?
And
oh my God.
I was able to
Hard
lose.
to believe looking at you.
To lose 65 pounds and keep it off is every day. My knees and my hips and my ankles are thanking me.
Yes, right, yeah.
So I had made a promise on that gurney that I would give back, and I didn't know what it meant or where I was going to go with it. Initially, I realized I didn't know how to cook. So I went into a cooking class that the Esselstyns were giving, and I thought, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to work with Blue Cross and Blue Shield and get a pay code.
Okay.
So other people who want to stop the heart disease, they'll know how to cook because I wasn't a cook. After spending 7 layers with Blue Cross Blue Shield, I was told that the only way that could receive a pay code was I'd have to work with the Michigan legislature.
Oh, okay.
Right. But that
was your next step.
Well, realizing that Michigan's the second biggest dairy producer in the United States, that was something I don't think I wanted to spend time trying to convince people.
No.
Right. So instead, I put an ad in the paper, and I said, here's what I was able to do. If anybody's interested, come to my house. I'll show you everything I'm doing, open up my cupboards and my heart to you. And within 2 days, I had 20 people coming to my house who were looking for salvation other than surgery. And I thought, wow, this was wonderful. I'll do it again. So I put another ad in the paper.
Okay.
And another 20 people showed up about a week later. And then I realized this was my calling. This is what I needed to do. I needed to let people know the benefits of nutrition before pills or procedures. I mean, there are times you need pills and procedures, but what I would like to share with people is let's try nutrition. Let's make some food modifications before you take on the pills and procedures.
Okay. So now question
Yes.
that I like to ask you. So benefits of nutrition, you mentioned just now. So how do you supplement those nutrition? I mean, do you have a whole list of whatever things they will be eating, or what are their benefits?
If you go
Because
on,
everybody don't have access to the plant-based nutrition. The most thing that I know is that you go to the grocery store, and then you have organic section and non-organic. So how do somebody who follows you, how do they go?
well, the first thing I would recommend is, we have a website.
Okay.
The website is www.pbnsg.org.
.org.
So any of the questions
Go
that you
to the website. Got you.
Yep. So any of the questions you may have from a nutrition standpoint are on the website.
Okay, website. Okay.
And if you're going to make a lifestyle change or consider it, what you need to do is understand where you get your protein from. You get your protein from broccoli more than meat. You eat your fruits and vegetables, beans and whole grains.
Yeah.
You're going to lose weight and feel from a recovery standpoint better.
Yeah.
So I would just say, if you're going to make a lifestyle change, it's not a bad idea to invest in some educational time.
Education is more important.
Yes.
Like the history, what gives you more protein, what gives you more iron.
Yes. And it's all in the food. All the food that you eat that is plant-based, all the fruits and vegetables and beans and whole grains, they all provide you with something that if you eat it, you might not need to supplement.
Supplement, okay. So basically, when I go to the grocery store, the first thing I will go to what are the organic grown vegetables, and what are the organic grown. How about the milk issue? How do I solve my milk issue?
Okay, I understand. I was a foodie before this happened. I mentioned I weighed 230
pounds.
pounds.
I know, because we eat
I loved
cereal.
food, and I still love food. But if you want specifically on the milk issue, what I did is I was a person who had whole milk and then reduced down to 2% before I gave it up. So what you have out there today is, your almond milk, silk milk, oat milk, rice milk. There's a lot of alternative plant-based milks.
I can see that. Rice.
Right. So I would recommend what you do is you buy all 3 or 4 of them and do a taste test. I have found personally that soy milk is the one I enjoy.
Soya milk.
Yeah, soy milk. And I can't tell the difference between the 2%.
Really?
I absolutely cannot.
Soya milk, yeah. How about coconut?
Well, the thing about the coconut milk or coconut oil or coconut is that if you're a heart disease patient, I stay away from oils.
Okay, right.
It doesn't matter what oil it is. I don't take it on. So you have to be a label reading person, but after you do it for a while, you get used to it.
You know which one to use, like whether it is coconut oil or extra virgin olive oil. That's what I use.
Yeah.
Extra virgin olive oil.
There's 2 trains of thought on the extra virgin first press olive oil. There's a faction that says it's okay to have some. There's others that say don't have it. I am not in judgment of that.
No, right.
I say that if, I'm a heart disease patient, so I don't take on oil, but it's not to say that I haven't in 13 years.
Yeah.
It kind of sneaks in a little bit when I go out. And I don't worry about it. One little bit of oil is not going to really matter.
It won't matter. Just so that you use it in consumption in a small amount, right? Like avoid the fried food.
Yeah, we stay away from fried food.
Cheese. What do you think about cheese?
Well, I used to love cheese, but what I do now is there's some somewhat cheese alternatives. But the fact is that is something that is the first thing I got rid of was the cheese. And the way I look at it, I know how difficult it is because we
Pretty
loved
hard.
our food, but the thing I like a little bit more than my food was how I feel every day.
How do you, right, yeah.
So, like,
that dictates you
that
how
it,
you
yes.
are going to
Yeah.
function.
I mean, the fact is that I'm now 67 years old.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty darn active.
Yeah,
And
you
I could
are
do it.
active, exercise.
Yeah, I could do things day after day and not feel sore. And the weight has helped me. And when I get tempted, I remind myself how sick I was.
I know,
And what I
yeah.
need to do to stay on course.
Yeah, right, yeah. So, I'm from old country, India. And in India, we use a lot of lentils, like different kind of dal, because I was taught since I was even little girl that is a good source, dal, for protein. So and also another thing I like to ask you about the role of mustard oil.
Yeah, I will.
Because mustard oil in India, very prevalent. They say that this prevents the heart disease and all that. Do you have anything to say about that?
Well, I could say that, yes, lentils are wonderful for you,
yeah.
okay?
Oh.
But I will say, after being involved with this now for almost 13 and a half years, that was the first time I've ever been asked about mustard oil. I've never heard of it.
Never heard of it.
So I don't want to mislead anybody, so I'm going to just say I don't know.
Okay, because there's a craze that use mustard oil in your cooking and this and that. But basically, I just use the olive oil because canola is another oil they are suggesting.
Well, I don't know who they are, but I just would say that if you're going to use any of the oils, do it in very small amounts and do it as olive oil would be the one. But again, as a person who doesn't take on any oil, I'm not advocating it, but I'm saying that if you need a little bit, it's okay.
Just a little
moderation.
bit of whatever, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, so how about for the fruits? What would you recommend?
I recommend all fruits. Now, the only fruit as a heart patient I don't take on is avocados, just because of the high fat.
Avocado has a very high fat level,
Yes.
yes.
So other than that, you could eat, the most beautiful thing about being plant-based is that you could eat all the fruits and vegetables and beans and whole grains. You could eat as much as you want.
Yeah.
They're not dense. So you could eat like today I had a big time salad and a bowl of oatmeal with fruits in it and spices in it.
Yeah.
So, you could eat to your heart's content on any fruit or vegetable.
Okay. So basically you advise for the viewers to know they can eat any kind of fruits except try to avoid avocado, and also for our viewers to know all those fruits are good. They are, plant-based.
Each one has a component that
Right.
will allow you to be healthy and supplemented naturally. And it tastes good. I mean, right now here in Michigan, what a good time to eat fruit and vegetables.
I know. But also, can you comment on something that is grown under the ground, like potatoes? Is there a difference between you eat the underground, like potatoes, or this? Or something that grows on
they're
the
all
tree?
it's all good.
It's all the same.
Yeah, it's all the same. But of course there's a concern because when you think about it way back when farmers wanted to get higher yields, they would put stuff into the ground.
Right,
And then
yeah.
they would put stuff into their animals.
Yeah.
And then they would give and who ate that was the humans.
Exactly.
So of course what we're getting sick
all
right, all the fertilizer, the steroids is
Yeah,
transferred to us.
steroids, yeah.
So I once heard that it's if you could choose organics, choose them, but of course you got to know the source of the seed
Where
and
it is
everything
coming
else.
from,
Right.
right, yeah.
But if you just said, listen, it's better I eat dairy, it's better that I eat fruits, vegetables, beans, and whole grains, then just eat them, and let's not worry about
About where it is coming.
where it comes from.
Right, yeah. because we are talking about plant-based, but they use fertilizers, on the lawn and all that. We are talking about milk and other dairy products, all those, but they are animal fed, we don't know what the animals have got it, right?
Right. And so, and again, this is like for me, I was so sick, I had to do like all or nothing.
Right, yeah.
But for anybody who's listening, just improve each day. Just do a little bit more of fruits and vegetables, beans and
Right,
whole grains.
yeah.
And the one thing I would say, if you're going to make this type of change, you need support.
You need support, very important.
Right.
Oh my God.
So
yeah.
that's why I started the plant-based nutrition support group, was because we realized that you need to be with other like-minded people, and you need to be educated. And our organization has an activity, Zoom, online, every single day from nutritionists, doctors, dietitians, who are experts in the field.
Right, yeah. So that's very good. I'm so
Thank you.
glad that I found you to talk about all this plant-based nutrition support group. Yes, yeah. Do you have 1 minute advice, keynote to our viewers who are watching me on this show?
Yeah. I would just say that try to be better every single day. If you go onto the website right now and then circle your calendar.
Education is
Education's everything. You
very
like I said, if
important.
you're going to make a change, you invest in understanding what you're doing. But I would say circle your calendar on October 9th at either Birmingham Groves or
October 9th. Okay.
or Birmingham Groves or Seaholm High School. Dr. Joel Furman will be gracing our stage,
Yeah.
and we'll be talking about how to prevent cancer through plant-based nutrition.
Preventable. That will be excellent. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're doing a little bit of both, where we're having some live events and some
Yeah.
virtual every single day, and I just want you to be part of being healthier, and that's
Sure, yeah.
what this is about.
Like, first of all, prevention of heart disease, and then talk prevention of cancer, because there are so many carcinogenic agents, like we all know, right?
Well, I mean, you could actually
I
stop and reverse type 2 diabetes if you commit
Oh,
to
yes.
this.
I
You-
was going to
yeah.
ask you, diabetes, high blood pressure, obesity, they are all cousins. So basically, avoid. So I'd like to thank you today
thank
on
you.
coming to my show. The health talk was about plant-based nutrition support group by their founder, Paul Chatlin. I'd like to thank our viewers for watching me,
Thank you.
just so that then everybody in this community know October 9th is the day they will have some kind of agenda about benefits of nutrition, and the location will be charted later on. And I'd like to thank our viewers, our camera people, and until I see you all again, have a wonderful, safe summer. Thank you again.
Thanks for watching and for being a part of the PBNSG community. If you found this video helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for even more plant-based insights, expert interviews, and delicious recipes.